morning, this is John Piper with the weekend video clip, and it's Saturday the 18th of May, and we're looking here at a chart of gold, the hourly chart. As you know, we saw this double low there, came up to this trend line here, failed after blipping up a bit, and now has come down to retest the low. We had an extreme stop in there, unofficial trade, and although it didn't go into profit very quickly, it's now up around actually almost 100 points in fact, so quite a nice little trade. Hope you got that. I know some of you did. Now the question is what happens next. So let's just go into this, expand this chart slightly. We'll stick with the hourly chart. Just look at the action since the actual peak that came in here around the 3rd of May. First point is we've got sort of 5 waves here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So certainly a case we have seen a low of some sort. And I've also got an ABC here, so it looks like it's a corrective decline at the moment. No guarantees here. I think there's a lot going on at the moment, and gold may just have been hyped far too much. It could be we're going to go fall back a lot further than I was thinking, but if a low's coming in, it must be pretty close now. The prior low was 1320, so right in the ballpark. And it rather depends what happens. I've been looking for some kind of buying spike. That would be the ideal scenario. See a buying spike, I'll be going long. I'll alert you as best I can. I mean, the last one came in at 2 o'clock in the morning, if you recall. And that's not a very practical time to be sending out alerts to anybody. But we'll see what we can do. And of course, as we're looking for big moves, we're not so worried about the entry point. I mean, obviously, it's ideal you get in with a close stop on a buying spike. But the point of trying to catch bigger moves, I mean, we caught 800 basis points before on gold. So the actual entry is not as critical as just getting on board the trade. So right now it looks like there could be a case of low. I've taken almost all my profits on the extreme stop trade. A bit left, just to see what happens next. I'd rather see some kind of indication we're seeing the low really. So right now it's still open, but if we're going to see a low, it should be pretty close now. Okay, we'll now look at the Dow, and here is the daily chart. Since the low in November, we've had a possible 1 here, which had down count of 5, 2, and then maybe a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, there's a case that we're due a pullback, but only a corrective pullback before we see higher prices. And we've still got that trend line I've been showing you around 16,000, 16,500. So that looks like it could be, and that would fit in quite well with this pattern. We see a pullback, say to here, maybe even down to the 4th wave here, and then another move like this one. This one was over 1,000 points. So that would take us up to here, and a little bit further would take us up to 16,000 thereabouts. But I would expect there to be some kind of setback. I mean, it has become rather long in the tooth, this rally, and time for a pullback, but no sign of it yet. Expiry seems to have had no effect at all really. Sometimes expiry is pivotal. It still may be. I mean, it's expiry plus or minus 2 sessions, so that takes us into Tuesday's action, but right now nothing really to talk about. Look at this chart in Wednesday's clip. Same basic, similar to Dow. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then perhaps a 1, 2, maybe 3. Again, we're looking for some kind of pullback, but again, there's a case that there shouldn't be a huge amount more of this upside before we see something, at least a pullback to around 6,200, the wave 4 support. But again, no sign of it just yet. DAX is similar. So look at pound dollar now. Okay, possible 5 waves down here as well. A bit flaky here, more of an ABC in fact. But the initial waves can be rather confusing. Then a wave 2, then a 3 down to there, then a 4. Now there's a possible 5th wave. Again, no sign it's over, but it could be time for a rally here. We're looking, as I said, to go short, to add to our shorts. We're 50% short already on pound dollar. So if we now see a bit of a bounce up to there, or a bit further perhaps, we can then put an extreme stop in here, and also watch out for selling spikes at the highs, which is a much nicer entry point if you can get it. You can't always do that, but okay, I think that's all for today. Bonds are still going down a bit, so that may have finally seen some kind of peak. Otherwise, we were just waiting for something to happen on the equities, which is the biggest issue at the moment. Gold and pound dollar are basically sort of doing as one might expect, but the equities are not doing what I expect at the moment. but I'm sure they'll fall in line one day, but quite when I don't know. Anyway, that's all for today. Hope you found that interesting and useful. I'm back with the report on Tuesday morning for subscribers. Have a great day. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.